Good afternoon. Welcome to Midcap Radar. I'm Reema Tendulkar. With me is Ekta Batra. Tuesday afternoon, 1:30 p.m. And these are the headlines. Midcaps in line with larger peers as selling intensifies in the afternoon session. Stocks slip further, tracking the big drops in dollar, crude, metals and US bond yield as investors root for safety. Investors will keenly watch the US inflation print later today.
Midcap IT players slide as concerns over US banks in the backdrop of SVB's collapse spur selling. Companies like Coforge and Emphasis lose 3 to 6% intraday as they have exposure to regional banks in the US, even though they are not impacted by SVB's failure.
Divgi Torque Transfer Systems off opening highs after shares list at a 5% premium to issue price. Management tells CNBC-TV18 order book remains strong and they are seeing healthy inquiries.
Sources tell CNBC-TV18 the Bandhan Group is exploring entry into the insurance market, starting with a foray into general insurance. Bandhan Bank shares, meanwhile, are down nearly 4%.
Sales of big chunks of shares by Blackstone in Sona BLW and M&M in Mahindra CRE draw good responses from foreign and domestic institutional investors, signaling a healthy appetite.
Hello and welcome to Midcap Radar on CNBC TV18. Well, it's turning out to be a session where we are seeing some amount of declines, but there's definitely a recovery from the day's low for all of the indices. So, for example, we have the Nifty, which is down around over 100 points at this point in time, down around 0.7%. There has been an intraday recovery which has taken place both for the mid-caps as well as the Bank Nifty at this point in time. Some news coming in on India Cements, where Care Ratings has revised the long-term outlook to negative from stable. So that would be a negative for India Cements. That stock is down around 0.13%. Well, just watch out for the texture of the markets because while the indices have recovered from the day's low, there is some amount of trepidation which is still coming into specific stocks, such as a couple of the mid-cap IT stocks, financials. So just watch out for what is taking place on individual counters. The India VIX has risen around 21.7% on a week-to-date basis, but currently it's higher by only around 0.7%. So you have to put that context of a rise that we've already seen in the volatility index for our markets in place when you talk about the kind of gains that we're seeing in the India VIX at this point in time. So as of now, yes, some amount of semblance in terms of the cuts at least that we're seeing, Reema. But let's see how the second half pans out. Last hour, yesterday was quite rough.
No, absolutely. But, you know, right now, looking at that intraday chart, you can see all those pullback rallies are being sold into. There was a stunning 100-point recovery at 12:30 p.m. Market sold off after scaling that, went down, skirted that 17,000 mark. Once again attempted a pullback in the last 10-15 minutes, and that's being sold into. So right now it's 17,036, but the markets are not getting convinced of any pullbacks, and those are being sold into. Shrikant Chauhan of Kotak Securities is joining in for a technical check on the markets. 17,005, Shrikant. That was the low that the Nifty hit today. So it got very close to breaching that 17,000 mark. And, you know, the intraday chart, what is it telling you about the way forward?
Yeah. Good afternoon, Reema. Good afternoon, Ekta. I think, well, for Nifty, see, like the one thing is very clear that now the sellers are turning more and more aggressive. They are not leaving any opportunity to sell whenever there is a rebound to the crucial levels. Like a few minutes back, the Nifty was somewhere close to 17,150, 160 levels. From there, all the way again, it has fallen to the levels of 17,000. But if we just go through with the technicals and based on the retracements and extensions, I think markets are heading towards important, crucial support levels. So between 17,000 to 16,900, market is having excellent support. And between these levels, if there is a positional view or if there is a view of at least next few weeks, then one should look for adding good companies between these levels. Yes, in the short term, very short term intraday basis, we may see the levels of 16,900, which is on the worst case side. But I think it will be an opportunity for positional traders to create some long positions.
Shrikant, very quickly, why is the 16,900 and 7,000 an important support level? Technically, are there retracement levels which coincide here? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, Reema, it is very clearly based on the extensions and retracements. even if we go through with the option statistics, then around 17,000, there is huge amount of put writing is there. And even if we consider the max pain, then it is somewhere close to 16,900 levels. So all these indicators are clearly indicating us that somewhere close to 16,900, we are going to see rebound in the market. Based on oscillators also, the markets are completely oversold. And the behavior which we are seeing right now in the market, that at every rise, we are seeing aggressive selling. I think all these things are definitely going to create some climax point at important levels, and from there we can expect some rebound.
Okay, Shrikant just had a quick question with regards to the Nifty PSU Bank Index. If you look at that, it's been a clear underperformer. It's down close to 2% today. It's down close to 5% on a week-to-date basis and almost 15% year-to-date.
Yeah, I think, see, it is very closely connected with the overall performance of the GSEC and the way there is activity and the news flow for the banks worldwide. I think all this pressure is there on the PSU banks. Also, FIs are now selling on a consistent basis, and if they are selling, I think they are selling or they are reducing their exposure from the financial space. Maybe because of that, we are seeing that particular sell-off, which is not the case of private banks, because there is the exposure to GSEC for private banks is very less as compared to PSU banks. So all these things are there, but I think PSU banks already fallen from their highs. PSU bank index was somewhere close to 4,500 levels. From there, all the way it has fallen to the levels of 3,600. So I think the enough correction is there. We may see some more correction. Maybe we may see the levels of 3,400 on the downside, which is hardly 4-5% from current levels. But there, the PSU bank has very good support levels, and from there we can expect recovery.
Okay. All right, Shrikant, we're going to leave it on that note. Thanks very much for joining in and speaking with us. That's the view coming in on the market. 16,900 to 17,000 would be important support levels for the Nifty. Well, 17,005 is the intraday low for the market. So let's see whether we manage to sustain and support that in today's trading session. Time for a short break. We'll get you more on the markets once we're back. Stay tuned. Welcome back. Well, let's get you a corporate conversation now. We will focus on Confidence Petroleum. The company recorded its highest ever revenue for Q3, even as margins were under pressure. Most recently, its 14th CNG station in Bangalore kicked off operations last month. The chairman and the chief managing director of the company now joins in to take some questions, Mr. Nitin Khara. Welcome to the show, sir. Well, I just wanted to start by talking to you about your highest ever revenue in Q3. You did over 700 crores in terms of revenue, and you have guided for around 1,800 to 2,000 odd crores for the entire fiscal for FY23. To get to the higher end, you would probably have to do around 460 crores plus in this quarter to achieve that upper end of the guidance. Do you think that you're on target to probably achieve the upper end or maybe even surpass it?
Yeah, good afternoon, Rima, and good afternoon, Ekta. Yes, 100% sure we will achieve our target, what we have committed to you in my last interview. So presently around 1541 till third quarter we have completed 1541, and 450 what's the balance. We will cross that, and we are targeting around 2,300 now. So the volume-wise, revenue-wise, we'll cross our 2,000 crore target.
So what you're telling us is that FY23 revenue will be closer to 2,300 crore, higher than your previous guidance of 2,000 crore, which means in Q4 your revenue should be around 750 crores?
Yes, Rima. Around 750 crore we will achieve in this last quarter. What we are targeting also, and we will definitely sure about ourselves that yes, we will achieve that.
Okay. What is resulting in this kind of revenue growth, sir? What are the demands that you're servicing at this point? What is your order book? What are inquiries looking like?
See, you are aware that confidence is the total supermarket of LPG and CNG. We are in LPG also, and we are in CNG also. So now both the fuels are in bullish today. As LPG already requirement day by day increasing, and our dealership day by day, we as last around 1600 dealers network we have now, we are around 1850 networks of dealers, and we have increased our bottling plant also as well. We have increased our auto LPG stations also. And in CNG retail also, now we are already commissions 16 CNG stations in Bangalore, and another around 20 are in pipeline, which we are targeting in this March only. Plus, we are in the CNG cylinder manufacturing also. So day by day, there also demand is coming up. You must be aware that Mr. Kirit Parekh has recommended government some their strategy about the pricing of the CNG pricing. So if they government, and we positively we are hoping that government will implement that, and if they implement that, then we'll get more mileage in our coming years, means in our 23 and 24, 23, 24. Presently, we have already started one import of LPG also, where we are getting the good volume. Earlier, we used to import only for ourselves, but now we are importing and we are doing the trading and we are doing the bulk marketing also. Means we are supplying LPG to the bulk users like JSW and other user like Gujarat Guardian, JSW, Mukund Steel and other steel manufacturers who are using LPG in their industrial uses. There also we are supplying them. We have started supplying them. So there also we are getting the good volume from there also. No doubt volumes is good there, but margin as compared to our other verticals, definitely it's lower than the other verticals operating margins.
Trading margins are typically lower, sir, when you do import and then use it to sell to others. So considering that you have now your hands in import of LPG, you've got CNG stations, 20 of them are getting commissioned now, more bottling plants are coming up. Can you give us an indication of what the revenue pie of the company is going to look like? How much revenues will be coming in from LPG import? What will be the percentage contribution from CNG?
Rima, I can say here that vertical-wise, volume-wise, suppose in 23-24 we are targeting around 3,500 crore of revenue generation, 3,500 to 4,000 crore revenue generation through all our these divisions, all our these verticals. And LPG import-wise, in that LPG import will be around 1,500 crores. I can put here. And remaining all are the CNG cylinder manufacturing, CNG retails. But in CNG retails, you must be aware that we are only doing, we are earning only bottom line there, because we are getting only commission from the fixed margin from the GAIL, Gas Authority of India Limited. What agreement we have signed with the Gas Authority of India Limited, that all capex we are doing there, all station we are doing there, and gas they will supply to us. Only they will give us the fixed margin per kg there. So there we are getting only bottom line there. And in our auto LPG station, we are selling that, all are coming into our top line. And in our pack cylinder division, where we are doing pack cylinder supply to hotels and industries, there also we are doing good. So altogether around 3,500 to 4,000 crore revenue generation we are hoping in the coming 2, 3 to 4.
Okay. All right, so we're going to leave it on that note. Thanks very much for joining in and speaking to us. So that is a very confident Petro, at least in terms of revenue generation. They have upped their target in terms of what they are looking to achieve in terms of sales this year to 2,300 crores versus an estimated 2,000 crores on the upper end of their guidance. And they're probably looking to even up that to around 3,500 to 4,000 crores in the next fiscal. Take a short break. We'll put the focus on the new listing, Divgi Talk Trans, in our mid-cap spotlight on the other side. Stay tuned.
Welcome back. Let's get to our mid-cap spotlight segment, and it's the new kid on the block, Divgi Talk Transfer. Sonia's here with more on this. Sonia.
Well, thanks a lot for that. It's an auto component player. It's a new listing and it's been a pretty muted listing actually. Even the market mood is not so great. So in that context, the listing has not been good either. The stock, the last time I checked, was down about 1% or so, and now it's trending a tad bit in the green. Now, the company is decent. It's got very stable financials. If you look at it, the revenue on a compounded basis has grown in excess of 20% from FY20 to FY22. The company basically designs, develops, manufactures and supplies engineered turnkey solutions and components. It's a component maker for automotive OEMs. Now, its main customers include names like Tata Motors, M&M. It also supplies to global players like Borg Warner. But I think the risk to the business is that it has a very high customer concentration risk. So 90% of its business comes from just the top 5 customers, and 54% of revenues is generated just from one customer. So that is a high concentration risk that it has. And the other risk is geographical risk as well. It has large presence in some of the vulnerable markets like China. So that's another big risk. But if you look at it, the company has not only seen a compounded revenue growth rate of 20% from in the last 2 years, but even if you look at the EBITDA front, it's seen a compounded growth rate of almost 33% on the EBITDA front between FY20 and FY22. It's also a debt-free company, so good business, decent business. There are some risks, but given the market mood, the listing has been on the muted side. Back to you.
Okay, all right, Sonia, thanks very much for that. Well, in fact, it is quite a subdued trading session that we have on our hands as well, because the Nifty on an intraday basis has now slipped below 17,000. This is the first time that it's taken place since the month of October. It has hit a low of around 16,998 on an intraday basis. It did recover from those levels, but nonetheless, that's the new intraday low that we're talking about for our markets. We need to wrap up on the show, but stay tuned. Your stocks will take all the action forward.